in the FA Cup. Manchester City beating Arsenal by a 1-0. Got a few different takes on this, right? Because obviously the headline is the master beats the apprentice, right? That's the headline. Putting him in his place is going to be the headline.
Really?
Listen, this is what the City fans are going to be dancing at the Etihad. They're going to go and sit. We'll take a bit of confidence from that and what have you. Listen, I think Arteta
played a great game,
mate. I think he's had a blinder.
Yeah,
I think he's had an absolute blinder here because if you think about team formation in the current situation. Let's be really, really honest. Arsenal are not supposed to be where they're at. They're overachieving. There's no doubt about that. And we don't know where they're going to be next season. So this is the swing. If you're going to have a go at becoming the champions, this is the year that you go and do it. You go and put the eggs in the basket and you go and have a proper go at it. So Arteta, I think, in his pre-match selection, has actually thought about that and thought to himself, do you know something? If I put my first 11 out here and they're going to get walloped off this City lot, what's it going to do for their confidence? Is it going to knock them a bit? We've got 2 big games coming up against this City lot in the next 2 months or so. I need them absolutely pairing. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to dilute it a touch. I'll make 6 changes. I thought that was a wise decision. Because if that team goes out and gets wallops off City, team talk's still relatively easy. I played the second string. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
When the first string come back, we're going to be right back at it. Yeah. But I tell you what, first half, Arsenal were the better team.
Yeah.
They were the more threatening team. They created more chances. And we're talking about a team that has got 6 changes to its starting 11.
Yeah.
Mainly defensive ones, granted. But again, absolutely, first half, I thought Arsenal were the better side. Okay, at half-time, Pep changes it up a touch with a few tactical tweaks, makes a few personnel changes. City get the backsides into gear, and I think they take control of the game. And then obviously we end up getting the goal with Nathan Ake, who I thought, by the way, had a wonderful game against Bukayo Saka. He's the threat, and I thought he had him in his back pocket for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
Now, from an Arsenal point of view after the game, you're at the FA Cup.
Yeah. Are you bothered?
You've no European football.
Yeah.
Not bothered about that either, mate.
No.
I'm trying to keep myself as fresh as I can because I want to win this league.
Exactly.
And the best opportunity that they've got is to keep that first 11 on the pitch as much as they can between now and the end of the season.
You framed this really well.
I think Arteta's had an absolute worldie tonight.
Yeah.
I really do.
They had a little go, but at the same time, they didn't.
Just need to have a little go.
Was it? He wasn't screaming and cursing on the sideline tonight, was he?
Not bothered.
He was chilled.
He's not bothered.
So that shows me that this was planned. It's like, okay, if we get through, we get through. But if we don't get through, sweet. Like, we could concentrate on the league. Let them worry about the extra games. Let them worry about it. Let them be a little bit jaded coming into the games facing us, and we'll run them ragged. So I think he's played a blinder too. I agree with you.
03717 223344. Jake, you're an Arsenal fan, aren't you, mate?
Yes, I am, mate, yes.
Jake, talk to me.
Are you bothered?
No.
Go on, Jake.
Do you know what? I think that the 2 worst results for us tonight would have been a 5-0 loss, because that will get confidence even with the second string, or a 0-0, because then we've got to play them again before we play them again on the 15th.
Yeah.
So I think the fact we've come away from losing 1-0 against a good City side, and Haaland, he wasn't in the game. Bear in mind, he is the biggest threat. The goals he's scoring is ridiculous.
Mate, to be fair, Rob Holding was having a wrestling match with him, mate, at one point. I thought he was going to, DDT him or something.
If that puts a Premier League medal around his neck, I'm sure he won't mind. I think it's a good tactical decision by Arteta. As I said, he's made 6 changes. It's a different squad to be playing them next time round. And, it's less games for us. And, again, 1-0, I'd have taken that all day long. Because, it's more games for us. If Arsenal don't win the league, and we don't win the FA Cup, but we at least challenge for it. I don't think any Arsenal fans can have an issue with that. They're not going to go, we should have tried more against City.
Yeah.
Where we are now compared to where we were last season, it's night and day. No one expects us to be where we are now, and it just shows we're moving in the right direction, and you have to take games on as, you don't want to try and focus on every single cup out there when you've got a situation we are now where we might be able to win the league. If we're sitting in 4th, different situation. But where we are now, I think he's done the right thing by resting players that maybe need a bit of a rest, and when they play them against a different squad.
Mate, I think you bang on. I really do. I think exactly what Jake just says there. If they're sat 4th right now, you think to yourself, the chances of winning the league, they ain't there this year.
Let's go for it.
Go and have a full swing at them tonight and see if you can do a bit against them. But that's not the situation. You've got to play the situation. You've got to play the cards that are in your hand, haven't you? And right now, Arsenal have got some very, very good cards. Go and play those cards.
And as well, he's used some fringe players as well.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say that's in the starting lineup. And it keeps them happy too. Keeps a happy squad. So, do you know what? We did try. We put in a few players that don't usually play. But they keeps the other boys going a little bit. But managers usually use these games to put the second string on. If you understand, it's not second string, but the ones that don't usually.
Yeah, get some
and
minutes into some legs.
now they're out of it. That might be what might work against them a little bit because those boys won't be able to get the time and the minutes that they want for this season. So, but he has to manage that within camp. If you understand where I'm coming from, but it's not that much of a big blow. But that's the only other side I would say that he'd be thinking, maybe those boys might not get the game time they're going to want this season. So it is what it is. But I reckon they're fine. And coming from Jake as well, I think he's bang on.